are on now.
Boom. All right, what's up, guys? We're back with another episode of Not Another Serious Podcast. Part 1 of the night. We have our this is pre-show prediction episode. It's only going to be a half hour. Here with Nick and Nolan, and we're ready to tell you guys what we think is going to happen on this ever-beloved finale night.
So we should recap a little bit, like a little, very, very little bit, just to show them, yeah, pretty much what's going on.
They don't know what happened, though. They don't know what happened with whoever won Part 2.
Oh, true.
So let's do Part 1. Yo,
okay.
It's going to be
spoilers. No, they don't know Part 1.
Yeah, they don't even know Part 1.
Okay.
Part 1, yeah.
We'll just say who the final 3 is.
Yeah, and who's against who we think wins.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Christmas and Josh, Christmas and Paul,
yeah.
Christmas and...
Okay, that's a good idea.
Okay, so
final
right now, final 3, Christmas, Josh, Paul. The final HOH is going on currently. It already happened. We're not going to give you spoilers because we don't want you guys to like be all mad at us like 30 minutes before, because I'm sure a lot of people probably held off to this point. They probably don't want to know.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're gonna go through the scenarios, and we're gonna see who we think is gonna win if in what situation. So prediction here: who do you think will win if it's Paul versus Josh in the final 2?
Paul and Josh. Oh boy, I hope that's what I'm rooting for.
Okay,
that's what I've been. Actually, I'm not gonna get into it.
I think it's most organic.
Yeah, it'd be a good final 2. I think it'd be the best final 2. Can we go off the spoilers we heard? Because that's hard not to.
What you have to say is, okay, let's be real here. The first part of the HOH is endurance.
No, the spoilers. No. I'm talking about the spoilers of the jury house.
Yeah, I think you can say that.
Okay, spoilers of the jury house were that absolutely bitter against Paul.
Should we just fucking go for spoilers?
We have to.
Okay, they're gonna find out in 5 minutes.
If you came in not expecting spoilers, we're sorry. This is not the podcast for you.
Yeah, that's it.
Like, we're gonna be going on directly, like literally a set, like 5 minutes after the finale ends, and we're gonna be talking about everything. There's no spoilers then because it's over. So if you want to come back, then come back. We're gonna be talking spoilers right now and everything that we know up to this point. So if you just are coming in now, we're sorry. We're gonna be going on right after the finale. Come right back. But right now we're talking spoilers. So
yes, exactly.
We'll give you a couple seconds to click off.
We're very sorry that we have to do this, but we really can't talk about it without it, because it just, if we're going on what we know, it's very tough to dance around that. We understand completely. If you so like Kari said, she'll be back. Completely understand. Yeah. We'll see you later. Don't worry.
Yeah, if you want to leave. It's fine. It's totally
cool. But just come back after.
Okay, please. We'll talk to you guys after.
So part 1 of the final HOH. Obviously, it's an endurance. It showed the beginning at the end of the episode. The beginning. It's an endurance competition. We all assume who's gonna win, and our assumptions were right. It's Paul. Paul wins first part of the HOH. Second part of the HOH, we don't see it. It was it was
a slingshot.
Okay.
So they had to hit slingshots.
Okay.
Christmas loses to Josh by 5 minutes with her boot leg.
The second part?
Yes, 5 minutes.
So that just shows how great
Josh
competitor Josh is. So Josh wins. Paul wins first two parts. That means it's gonna be Paul versus Josh in the final HOH,
which is the balance beam.
Yeah, I don't like
the newly formed balance beam. What year did they start that?
15. Maybe 15.
Yeah, Andy against Gina Marie. We know who won that one.
Let's just kind of sorry if we're going fast here. It's like
we have.
Let's just like refresh our mind. Paul in the same HOH last year won. He won the final part of the HOH. So will that be a little glimpse of what's gonna happen tonight?
He beat Nicole.
Yeah,
and Nicole's a lot smarter than Josh. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe I'm selling Josh a little short. We've seen him really formulate some good opinions this year.
And sentences.
Lots of those sentences. He knows how to spell what word was it?
Drought,
which is impressive. He's a lot smarter than people give him credit for.
As much as I think that this is the final HOH is a kind of a crapshoot.
It's kind of not.
It's kind of not because it's getting to know people in the house, and I think that Paul obviously has the advantage because Josh pretty much cut off everyone that wasn't in his line, the alliance. He's cut off everyone. He's fought with everyone, and I don't think he knows the people as well as Paul does.
Yeah. But either way, right? The plan for both of them, as of this moment, spoiler alert again. Click off right freaking now if you haven't heard this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that they're both going to take each other to final 2. Yeah. So it doesn't even matter. Christmas is out of the running.
Courtesy of Christmas. Christmas was the one who planted the seeds like, don't take me.
This is what she never said, don't take me. She kind of said something like, I think it'd be best for you guys to do whatever you have to do. Like, she didn't say don't take me, but she kind of meant like don't take me. So I'm not surprised with the way Christmas is
played. What an idiot.
But at the end of the day, I think that Paul knows that his best shot is going against Josh, and Josh knows his best shot is going against Paul. And if you guys are confused about that, it's mostly because they think that everyone in the jury, nobody really has any bad feelings about Christmas.
No.
Christmas is pretty universally liked in the jury house.
Yeah.
And aside from maybe Cody
Coach,
so she's pretty universally liked. Paul knows that Josh is a polarizing figure and that people either love him or hate him.
Right.
And Josh knows the same thing, that people are going to be bitter about Paul. Being a super fan, he knows that people are going to be naturally bitter.
And he's actually right on this hunch, right? A lot of times it's wrong. He's right.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying, wow, Josh has to cut Paul. I think if he cuts Christmas, he's making the right decision. Josh would 100% lose to Christmas, but if he takes Paul, he has a good chance at winning just because they're so bitter, and that's something we have to get into. Apparently, Matt and Raven are so pro Paul in the jury house, they're actually turning other people off to voting for Paul to win. This is courtesy of Hamster Watch, and Hamster Watch has been nothing but reliable. So it looks like if Josh takes Paul and if Paul takes Josh, based on these outside rumors and these spoilers, that there's a solid chance that Josh will be the winner of Big Brother.
Okay, so let's say this all goes to plan, Josh against Paul. Where do the votes lie? Matt and Raven are 100% Paul. Cody, we don't know. That's a toss-up.
Cody's a very big toss-up. But
Kevin, the toss-up. Yeah, what?
I want to go back to Josh really quick. The thing about Josh, and the reason that I think that he, as much as Paul deserves Big Brother, obviously he's the most deserving by a mile. But the thing about it is, the reason that this whole thing started because Josh has been low-key planting seeds in his post-diary room and his goodbye messages where he's like, I've been in alliance with these people. And it's been blowing up Paul's spot because right after that, they'll show Paul's and Paul will be like, I'm sorry, buddy, I had no idea what was going on. And then it would be Josh and he'd be like, we're in an alliance together. So Josh is kind of responsible for this, people being like, yo, Paul's being sketchy. Because if Paul just owned up to it right away and be like, I'm sorry, I had these final 3 alliance. I'm sorry I couldn't be reliable to you. Please don't be bitter. That would be one thing. But he was being sneaky even after the fact.
Yeah, I think if he just came out and told everyone what he did, they'd be like, yo, I respect that.
Yeah.
This guy's killing the game. He made one fatal error. He played very well in the house. He played a very good game. There's also an article I read today where it said he was basically handed the game. We'll get into that maybe after the show. He played very well. But the fatal flaw in his game, it's like if somebody's doing open heart surgery and they use a wrong tool, he fucked something up. And where he fucked that up, it might cost him the whole game. And if he does, he deserves it.
But I understand. I agree he deserves it. That if he loses, he deserves it. But that making one fatal flaw in a game you've played great, I still think no matter what happens tonight, Paul finishes in my opinion, he's a top 5 Big Brother player. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me. I saw people online putting certain people over him that I was flabbergasted. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. We'll talk later.
Can you name one?
No, I'm talking
that could be after the fact where we could start comparing and contrasting. We're going to do podcasts dedicated to top 5, top 10s, just because it's the off season and we want something between Celebrity Big Brother. So anyway, going back to the point, if Paul doesn't win, or if Josh wins, if Josh wins, how deserving is Josh in the scale, in the scale of deserving? Because I like comparing it to, even though this is different, I'm having the same gut feeling, assuming that the final 2 is gonna be Josh and Paul. I have that same feeling as when it was Ian Terry and Dan Giesling, whereas Dan obviously deserved it, but Ian deserved it too.
Okay, I think here's the thing: what makes, in terms, are we comparing him to other winners, or are we comparing him to this season?
Compared to this season, where on the scale do you think he is in deserving wise? Paul's obviously one, and say Jillian's last. Who the scale of deserving?
Okay, I'm gonna say in terms of their in-house gameplay, not their post-game DRs. Let's just think in-house gameplay before they left the door. I would say Josh is 2. Yeah.
You think Josh is 2?
I don't think anyone, because here's my.
He figured Paul. No one else did.
That's the one thing. He figured Paul, and he was woke enough, and I said woke enough, I did say it, to realize that he has a better chance of beating Paul in the final 2. We're all watching the show. Everyone's saying, take Paul out. And we're watching what's happening. He's in the house, and he's somehow formulating the opinion that, wow, this jury is going to be bitter. They're not going to like Paul. I have a better chance with him. That's amazing. The chance to keep Paul is going to be such an underrated move if he does it. And I respect it so much. Will he be one of the best winners of all time? No. Will he be even the top half winners? No, he's not going to be in top half.
Here's why
he's like Steve. And honestly, Steve made a bigger move. So he's hitting a little below Steve.
Josh.
We're talking about Josh as a winner already.
Yeah, he hasn't won.
What world do we live in that Josh Martinez is going to win Big Brother?
But let's look at their paths. Paul was up. The whole game he was on top. The whole game he had the house at his fingertips. Josh was bottom, creeping up, top, bullied a little bit, back up to the top. He had this cool up and down, like love him,
I
hate him.
think he's an all-star for sure.
Yeah. And
I
also,
would like to see him back on the game.
His arc, his character arc, his growth.
Now another thing we wanted to talk about. Ooh. Where? Sorry, I'm a little I'm trying to word. I totally lost my question.
Okay, well I have one.
Yeah.
America's favorite.
Cody.
I say Cody.
I think it's gonna be between him and Kevin, and maybe someone like they'll throw a Mark in there or something like that. But it's gonna be between Cody and Kevin, and I think Cody's gonna win. And then that's gonna be like a shock to like Raven and Alex. But then when they go to the backyard interviews, and then Raven starts hearing about, I heard everyone starts talking about her as a puppet master.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a big shock, and I actually pity Raven because I feel bad because she's gonna be shit on so much. Austin mentioned before, he said that Raven is probably the most universally hated house guest maybe of all time. The super fans hate her. Casuals really dislike her. She's screwed at the house.
But listen, here's the thing about Raven. I don't think she's an inherently terrible person. I think she's a moron.
Yeah.
And I don't think because everyone hates her, so you can't. If I see something positive about Raven, it's like, well, we all hate her.
What do you think though?
I don't think she deserves the amount of hate she's getting. Nope. She's an idiot. Yeah. She's a pathological liar. Yeah. She has some clear mental issues. However, is she a mean? She might be a little catty. Is she evil? No.
Evil?
She deserves ridicule, not hate.
Yeah, she deserves to be criticized and not hated.
Not ridicule, because ridicule is a bad word. Because I feel like that's like you're like ridiculing someone, like you're just on them. Criticized. That's a good way of putting it.
But also, she's not the reason I think that people all hate her, and it's a gang mentality. It's a mob mentality where everyone's like, we all hate Raven, so fuck Raven. Yeah. Raven doesn't deserve that. No. I think the person who deserves it is Alex and Jason for the things they said in the house. Yes. The things they said only, like, I don't think Raven can dig that deep and take that. Like, she's not an evil person. I don't think she could dig as deep as to call someone a pedophile.
Yes.
Or like
those are evil
Alex
words.
Did, or saying that he was gonna tie Kevin's wife down and make his kids watch. Like that's evil people. That's like low. That's like the lowest you can go. So Raven on the scale of bad people in the house, like, she's like middle.
Yeah.
She's like in the middle. She's not the best person.
We don't like Raven.
We don't like Raven. Don't get that twisted. We don't like Raven at all.
But we don't think she deserves
we hate people way more.
You know why? It's so weird that for some reason Alex and Jason will probably get let off the hook and Raven will be shit on for years. And she lied. She lied. She has a disease and she lied. I'm sure the disease has messed her up mentally. I'm sure that disease has really played a toll on her trying to be normal and overcompensating for the fact that she's not going to live that long. Like, and maybe she will. Hopefully she will. But the fact that Jason, and Jason's a good guy, I think. He just said something awful. And people are going to forget about that.
Yeah.
Alex was awful. Alex displayed awful behavior in the house. To me, Alex is a terrible person, and she's gonna get let off the hook. She's gonna have her fans. Raven's gonna get shit on for being an idiot.
Well, here's the thing, right? A lot of people say, well, they're in a game. They don't deserve to be judged on who they are on the outside. But when they start doing things that have nothing to do with the game, that shows who they are on the outside. When you're mean to someone for no reason whatsoever, like Alex was countless time again. I know we've bashed Alex on this before, but it's so deserved. It's deserved.
But also Raven's lies, and I'm not saying she meant it to be a factor of the game.
Yeah.
But they were a factor of the game.
Yeah.
What Alex said and what Jason says were not factors of the game at all.
Right.
Factors of the game is what Raven lying could be a factor of the game. People being like, okay, she might have I believe she has gastroparesis.
Absolutely, she does. Yeah.
I believe it. Do I think it's at the level she thinks it's at? No. I don't think that she's gonna die in a year or two. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Nobody deserves that, and I hope to God that's like embellishing on her sickness. But I think that at the end of the day, people like somewhat felt bad for her.
Yeah.
And they dragged her to jury. She got that jury bonus. Yeah. She was able to get dragged along that far because people thought she was a sweetheart. At the end of the day, it helped her game. But Alex and Jason didn't act in towards their game at all.
Right.
So back to my question I was going to ask before I remember.
Got it. Good.
Okay. Everything aside, all the leaks aside, all the blogs and all the insiders, everything aside, who do you think is going to win? I know we all kind of like just from the leagues, Josh. Yeah. But is there anyone here who still thinks Paul? Is there any glimmer?
I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. Is there any glimmer inside of you that's like maybe Paul probably thinks still has this?
I wouldn't be shocked. I think Josh is probably 60-40, 70, 65-35 is where I'll give it. Yeah.
I'd say honestly, if I had to predict, I'm gonna predict just to go against the grain. I know Adam's sticking with Josh because that's his sleeper. That's his beginning pick, so he can't change
I gotta
it.
stick with him.
I'm just gonna say Paul just to like
go against
just to go against it in case he does win. We have one person who predicted.
Okay, let's talk about mental states. Paul mentally, he lost last year's game and was fudged up from it. He was messed up from it. What's gonna happen to this guy? Listen, I think it's gonna mess him up long term.
This is gonna destroy Paul. The reason Paul had so many sociopathic tendencies this season was because he wanted to protect his chances of winning in any way, shape, or form. Because he was so beat up last year after losing by 1 vote and he kept trying to defend himself. And this whole season, he set himself up in a game where he couldn't lose, and he's still gonna lose potentially. If he does, if he wins, good for him. But if he loses, I really think that's going to affect Paul long term. I think Paul's going to be he's not going to understand why, and that's going to really mess with him. He's going to say, I played a hard game. Yeah, I made mistakes, but like Josh banged pots and pans at everyone's faces and he beat me. Or Christmas had a broken foot and she beat me, whatever it may be. And he's really I think Paul and Raven are going to be the most damaged in a year for me.
Here's the thing, though. Paul's biggest issue is ego. He comes in the house this year. He's like, no, my decision to take Nicole was a good decision. She deserves to be there with me. He still backed his shit up instead of being like, okay, I made a mistake. I should have taken James Hewling to Final 3, won by a 7-2 vote or some crap, and gone out my life. Instead, he's going to back his decisions and be like, oh, I know, my jury management was great. Who cares? Pissed. Like, he will. And it's annoying.
Can I just say something that I want to touch on later in the post-broadcast, which there's more people in here. We're going to have a post-broadcast, just letting you guys know now. Yeah. As soon as the show ends, come right back to where you are now, and we're going to be on probably 5 minutes after the show ends. Yeah. Anyway, I think that I want to touch on this later, but I think that ending the jury should hear out from like the final 3, the plea speeches should be before earlier.
Yeah.
Imagine you're on the jury. Imagine you're on the jury and you're sitting there. Yep. Your mind is made up. Yep. What's going to change 5 minutes before you vote? Nothing. You've had weeks to imagine this. The roundtable discussion that they're going to show tonight has been done for a couple days now?
Probably Friday?
Yeah, so their minds are made up at this point. Yeah. Nothing Paul or Josh or Christmas say tonight is going to change their minds.
Right.
And I think that's why I know that they decide Final 2 on the last night, but they should have the final 3 plea speeches a week before, before the roundtable. The roundtable should be post plea speeches because they should be able to weigh out. They don't know all the moves they made.
Yeah,
they have no idea. All they're judging is based on what they saw in the game, and what the point of jury is to kind of take a step back and be like, okay, what happened to me? For them to lay their cards on the table and say, this is what I did in the house, makes them understand a little bit more and say, okay, let me rethink this a little bit. But I feel like it takes away the bitterness and it would kill the bitter jury.
I think you're right, but I also think that they do it. Oh God, I lost my train of thought. They do it. Somebody pick me up because I can't.
What are you saying? Why do they do it at the end? Why do they do it at the finale night?
Because I think they like that. They want a viewer to look forward to that. They want a viewer to be like, okay, we get the speeches. If there's no speech at the end, it's kind of boring.
Why do they do live shows anywhere? You know what I'm saying? It's exciting that it's happening on live TV.
Why do they do live speeches?
I think there should be a final 2 plea speech. I think that the final 3 should get a plea speech too. Okay. I just think it's so it doesn't do anything.
What about 30 seconds? What if they said you have 30 seconds to say what you did, short ass time? Yeah. And say go, and as soon as it's up, you can't speak after that.
Or send a videotape to the jury house.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
I just think that it's pointless to say their minds are made up. Let's take Jason for example. Say he goes in tonight saying I'm voting for Josh no matter what. If he's in the final 2, I'm voting for Josh. Yeah. Fuck Paul. Paul comes in and says I did this. Say Josh comes in and says I didn't do shit. Vote for Paul. Jason's probably still gonna vote for Josh because his mind's made up. He's saying he logically, as a human being, your mind is made up. You're gonna be like, I don't want to think illogically. When you think of momentary decisions that quick, you're like, that's probably not the right choice. I had a long time to think about that. That's the right choice, and you're gonna vote. There's very few things that can make someone's mind change like that.
Question: If hypothetically Josh does win, it's proven that it's better to be an underdog than it is to be the favorite. Yeah. Because the underdog is won time and time and time again.
In the recent past.
Steve, Josh now potentially. That's 3 out of what, 5?
Yeah. And okay,
People who gotten robbed. But also Vanessa Russo would have beaten.
Yeah, but he cut her. Yeah, you're right.
but
He made the
so
right
this is
choice.
what's gonna happen tonight. After the show, we're either gonna be talking about how Josh somehow won Big Brother, how Paul is one of the most deserving winners in Derek, how Paul was robbed and deserved it and played a great game, and about the jury and America's Favorite. So we have a lot we're potentially gonna talk about. Christmas.
How Christmas is one of the most undeserving house.
Or no, because if she wins, that'll be the most shocking winner in recent memory.
It would be very shocking, and it would be very. We'll talk about that if it happens.
One spoiler: Paul and Christmas plan to kiss on her way out. What? They want to just surprise everyone. I'm just kidding. That's not.
Oh god.
So okay, guys, we have how many minutes to the finale?
Let's get on.
We have 5 minutes.
We're gonna give you
to
time.
The finale. Come after as soon as Big Brother ends on the East Coast. Come watch with us. We're gonna talk about every single thing. We'll probably be on for a long time.
Yeah,
we're
at least
for
an hour
or two. So we're gonna be on for a while. Talk about Big Brother with us. Maybe we could do something where we have people like not call in, but something along those lines. That'd be pretty fun. Yeah,
we should watch the live interviews and comment on them too. Like,
but it might be too quick after.
Okay, yeah.
Do that.
We'll figure it out. We'll just come by afterwards, chill, have a good time. Like usually we have to avoid spoilers or go to spoil. Season's over after this. Go watch the finale. We're gonna be right on after. Question: is the West Coast see it later?
I have no idea.
Yeah, they do. But
What do we know? There's no way.
Yeah,
we can do.
nothing we could do. We're going on right after the
2 hours
East
from
Coast
now.
finale. We'll still probably be on. We'll probably stay on for a couple hours. Like, come on, we can watch the pod afterwards. Come if you have questions. Everything. We're gonna be talking about every scenario that possibly could have happened that we talked about today.
Yeah.
But more straightforward. Who played the best season? Who played the worst season?
Yep.
If Paul's one of the best winners ever. Yada yada yada.
We'll see you then.
5 minutes left. See you guys.
Enjoy the finale, everyone. Go.
Bye.
Josh. I can't.